this would be the worst way to describe this movie. This is a horny, sexy, like tennis movie, but it's not really about tennis. It's just about.
Well, I just know that he got canceled out of the atmosphere. Just absolute, just nuclear strike.
And if they have that soundtrack with the butt rock, you know you're not in for a good time.
You just start hearing like Seether or something playing.
Yeah, it's disgusting. Welcome to the Some Damn Movies podcast. Just a heads up, we don't shy away from spoilers. Here's your warning for the following movies. Just a reminder, this is technically episode 16. You will hear that this is episode 15, but again, we replace this with the Sinner's Review. Make sure you go watch that first. Now, on to the Luca Guadagnino overview. Thank you for watching and listening. Enjoy. Hello. Welcome to episode 15 of the Some Damn Movies podcast. I am your host, Jared, alongside my co-host, Ian.
Hi, I'm Ian.
What's up, man? How you doing today?
Not too bad, man. How are we doing on this wonderful morning?
Good.
Well, morning for me, afternoon for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's 2:50 my time. I did get a run in today. That's pretty much it. I got a nice little walk in yesterday as well. I did a little walk to the gas station.
You know, it makes it worth.
It's a balance.
Makes it worth the taquitos if you walk to the gas station.
I'm not a taquitos man.
Too.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't go to that gas station that I think you're thinking of. I went to a different one.
Oh,
yeah.
You went to a different one.
I walked towards the Kroger way.
Yeah.
I
know. As soon as you said you didn't go to that one,
I went exactly up that gigantic fucking hill back, and my calves were not thanking me later, but all is well. So yesterday I did have to cram in a lot of these movies because it was a struggle to watch one of them, but the other two that I've already seen, I did watch. But I did want to actually first say, what else have you been watching? If you've been watching anything, because I have a couple things I want to talk about.
These.
Okay.
Do you want to do that before or after?
Yeah, I just want to get it out of the way, and then we can get straight to the Luca talk.
Okay. All right.
So I don't know what sort of trailers you've been watching lately. I try not to watch movie trailers too much these days. I'm a little selective on it. So if it's like a movie or a series, like if it's an MCU movie, I do not give a shit. I'll watch it. See,
I'm kind of the opposite on you right now.
Oh, really?
Not to cut you off, but because I am kind of like over MCU content, but Thunderbolts, like I am kind of interested.
Oh yeah.
And whenever I'm not editing or doing any of this stuff, I've been like playing a lot of Marvel Rivals. So I'm just, and like with that new battle pass, so I'm like very primed for Thunderbolts. Like I don't know why, but like that's one trailer. I know why, I just explained it, but like that's one trailer where I'm like, dang, bro, I kind of want to watch that. Like,
no, the cast looks fun. Yeah, I'm down to see it. I want to watch that and Fantastic Four are the two that I'm actually somewhat excited for.
They're coming out with a Fantastic Four movie? I completely missed that one.
You don't know the cast or anything? You haven't seen any of it?
No, nothing.
Where have you been? You've been off for like a month, bro, and you haven't seen any of it? Pedro's been all over the place.
Not at all, man.
That's crazy.
I've literally just been like reading, editing this stuff. I mean, I still am online. Like I watch YouTube pretty regularly. I'm trying to think of how I missed that because like I'm still on Reddit too.
Yeah, that's insane.
I didn't even know there was that makes sense, I guess, with like the Marvel Rivals Fantastic Four like theme. Because I was like, even though I hated that season of Marvel Rivals, not to go down there, I was just like, Darkhold was kind of out of place, but they're like, oh yeah, like the Fantastic Four are making their debut. That kind of makes a lot of sense if it was like a cross promotional kind of thing.
Yeah, it's the subtext is like first steps or whatever. So I think they're going way back in the 60s or something like that. Is
okay.
Yeah, so they're doing
this is proper Disney MCU, or is this
so? Yeah, this is MCU, and I think they're doing. I don't think this is the Earth that we're within the MCU right now. I think it's a parallel Earth.
Wait, so I do know part of this because this is okay. Doctor Doom is going to be the next big threat, right? And that's why they were bringing back Robert Downey Jr. Right? Was it for Fantastic Four?
Yeah, that is.
I thought it was just for Avengers. I mean, I know it's a Fantastic Four villain, but I did not know it was coming accompanied with Fantastic Four. I thought they were just like, yeah, we're just going to use Doctor Doom and then we'll introduce something
I don't know.
later.
Yeah, I think it's just like they're still doing the whole like different Earths and stuff like that. The different timelines, whatever. I don't know. I'm still behind on some of the movies, so who knows? But I think
you're not behind. You're actually winning.
The actual big bad, I think, is Galactus at the end of all of it.
Yeah, and which is another Fantastic Four enemy because it's Silver Surfer.
So Pedro is playing Mr. Fantastic. Vanessa Kirby is playing Invisible Woman.
Vanessa Kirby from
she's in one of the Mission Impossible movies, I believe. Yeah, she's in The Final Reckoning. Dead Reckoning. Yeah, she's in the newer ones. She's pretty good.
Okay.
And what else she is? She was in Hobbs and Shaw, and was she in any of the other? She was in Fallout. So yeah.
Okay.
Joseph Quinn, he's the guy from the last season of Stranger Things. He plays Eddie, the guitar guy.
Okay.
Metallica boy. And then Ebon is playing Ben Grimm, the guy from The Bear.
Who is?
Ebon. He plays the one guy in The Bear.
Okay.
He plays Richie. Yeah, Richie. Cuz, or whatever they call him.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the new cast.
That's an interesting lineup.
Yeah, I'm excited for it.
I think it'll be fun. It's just I don't know. It's not nearly as star-studded as I thought. I mean, obviously Pedro Pascal, like that's a pretty big. I mean, like he's like, I mean, he's big. He's not like right. Like he kind of straddles the. He doesn't give leading man, right? Like of A and B tier, I guess, like celebrity. But yeah, definitely a pretty strong leading man. Joseph Quinn, like that's a pretty good fit. It seems like for Johnny Storm. I
think Ebon as
Vanessa Kirby, I think
Grimm is great.
That one is like that one is like pretty solid right there. And I think that's like the deeper cut where I wouldn't have expected it, but also most of the actors and actresses from The Bear have been doing pretty well for themselves. Like they've been finding some good spots, so good on them. Yeah, overall that could be a lot of fun. Again, that's back to the.
I feel like I'm being trolled. Like, there's no way you didn't know.
I really did. That's
insane.
You
have a movie podcast.
What do you mean?
How do you not know?
So again, like you said, like I don't keep up with trailers. I don't want them to be spoiled for me. Like if it's something that I care about, or not even care about, trailers are so revealing. And with the MCU, I have been tuning out a lot of the MCU. That's why, like with Thunderbolts, I finally saw a trailer like 2 days ago, and I was like, oh, I kind of fuck with this, like, because it was just popping up on Reddit whenever I was going through like an ad. It just had like this, the what is it, the flyer for it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, like that's interesting. Also, we love Flo here. Like Florence Pugh looks like she's heading it up. Sebastian Stan's still in there. That's cool. And I like the rest of the cast. Like I enjoyed Black Widow's not a good movie, but I still enjoyed Black Widow. It's just like you just turn off your brain. It's not like it was a good movie, but most of those movies were just like, they were fun. And it seems like very, I think Thunderbolts just seems very low risk. It just seems really, I'm not too invested in it. Like, and I just so happen to know the origins and have watched most of those for origin stories for those characters. Because there's not a whole lot, right? It's like Falcon, Winter Soldier, and then Black Widow.
Yeah, I'm trying to look into this.
I think is where all the rest of, and then of course, like I mean, you have that's really all you have to watch to know about it. It seems low stakes, I guess is what I'm getting at.
No,
it just seems like a very low stakes MCU movie, and I think that's just kind of what I would want.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like it's like too crazy. I don't like you just brought up Galactus and Fantastic Four. I'm like, oh, they're still doing that. Like they're still going across like the fucking like and I don't have anything against going like the space themes, but I'm like, this is so, it's like spinning plates and they're crashing down. There's just like, it's like this web of just all these events that I'm not keeping up with. I don't care anymore, like to keep up with it all. I'm exhausted from it. So that's Thunderbolts just seems like pretty pretty low stakes and just enjoyable. And I actually would like to see that in the theater just to like get an MCU experience in.
So I was gonna say back to the original conversation, if it's a movie from a director or something that I actually want to see, like I'm excited for. So like I had Tony actually sit down and watch a trailer for me. It was for one Battle After Another. It's the new Paul Thomas Anderson movie, and it's starring Leo and Sean Penn.
I don't know how I feel about that.
So PTA obviously is Punch Drunk Love, There Will Be Blood, Magnolia, those movies. So as a cast, I'm excited for. Director, obviously. And wait,
Paul Thomas Anderson, didn't he just do Licorice Pizza?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, see, I didn't know he did There Will Be Blood. I still have yet to watch There Will Be Blood.
Well,
I do want to watch it.
PTA will be a future director that we do, so we got to be a little bit careful about what we watch, just because if you look at his filmography, I mean, they're all just smashes.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't want to go too far into it as well, but like I kind of walked away from Licorice Pizza like this was a great excuse for him to put Haim and the Haim sisters into a movie. I was like, this movie is like, it's like the weirdest coming of age movie. And well, again, yeah.
Well, that one I haven't finished yet.
You haven't? Is it just because it fucking put you to sleep? Because it's not like that. Like I'm sorry. Like I feel like I gave it a lot of leeway, at least for myself, where I was like, yeah, like I'm so into this. Like everyone loves Paul Thomas Anderson. Let me go watch this.
I think that's
like,
yeah, I think that's the least favorite for most people.
It missed so hard. And then the thing was, when I was looking it up, he like directed like 8 or 9, like again, 8 or 9 Haim music videos. I was like, okay, so yeah, he just wanted the Haim sisters in a movie. Like I got it.
So I had Tony sit down and watch it while I kept my ears plugged. I just wanted to ask her, is it something that you'd be into? Because I know if she likes it, I'm probably going to be at least somewhat interested in it. So yeah, I'm interested in it. I'm excited for it. But for a trailer that has been effective for me was the new Final Destination trailers.
I did see that one.
So
I did see one,
the one in like the piercing shop. That one was effective for me enough that I started watching the other ones. So that's what I want. Yeah.
What are you talking about?
I love the Final Destination movies. I always have.
I think if you're into like Rube Goldberg Machines of Death,
I am.
Then like I can see it.
They're
I think
fun.
For me, because we'd have to do I don't think we can even do. I don't even know if I want to do a watch through. There's so many movies there, but the first one was good. I think the first one, because that was like, there was a curse, there was a spirit, like I remember them doing a lot of like the shading or the shadows, like kind of creeping. Yeah. Like they made it like there was an actual antagonist. After that, it was just like people
they
fucking
get rid
just
of that.
Dying.
Yeah.
People just dying.
Yeah, I hated that because Final Destination, the first one, Death had like
a presence.
Yeah, he had an actual like a presence. Like you could see him in like the shadows and it would move and stuff like that. They completely abandoned that for the rest of the movies. And I will say the second one I do not like because the leading girl sucks. So I think if the 2 leading characters suck, the movie is going to be trash. And they're all trash. But I do like
the
them
first
all.
one. I would say is like a good popcorn cruncher.
It's Devon Sawa, man. He was classic Devon Sawa in that era. Like he had Idle Hands, which was Idle Hands was always a favorite as a kid. He was even in like Casper and some of those movies that I watched on TV and stuff like that. So that era was definitely was good for me.
It's like definitely like that whole era is like primetime television,
butt rock in the movies,
butt rock movies. Yeah. I think I'm trying to think of all the trailers. There's that new A24. Was it Warfare?
Oh yeah, the Alex Garland movie.
Yeah, the new like he just went from Civil War to just Warfare. So I'm like, I liked Civil War quite a bit. I just thought that like Alex Garland needs to stop with like some of the effects he uses, meaning like they're like too stylized, like whatever like machine guns are shooting and stuff, it looks like fucking laser beams. Sometimes like in the end of the end scene, yeah, it just like you'll have like these machine guns going off and just it looks like a video game. I just wish he'd tone that down. But he's trying to make it over the top, so like whatever. But yeah, I mean, I would like to check out Warfare. I think that would be like a good one for me. Like that's one I have my eyes on to go and see in a theater if I can. I just have to see the release date.
And I do want to give. I was going to say just a quick shout out to the Dungeons and Dragons movie that we watched the other day.
So good.
I don't know, like going into it, knowing it's a Dungeons and Dragons movie, there's no chance it was going to be good. But Jesus, Chris Pine is just he's too good. He's the best Chris.
Yeah. Like that movie in general is just, I think not only as a fan of the tabletop role playing game and just feel good, fun romps, they really hit the nail on the head. I really can't. It really sort of harkens back to the original Guardians of the Galaxy. And people would say that people were trying to do the Guardians of the Galaxy thing really hard. There's not another movie that has done the Guardians of the Galaxy thing as well as Guardians of the Galaxy, probably besides Dungeons and Dragons. And I'm even saying to like the sequels of Guardians of the Galaxy, that's still that same charm that that movie possessed. So yeah, like Dungeons and Dragons, like
yeah, charm's a good word for it.
I happily watch it.
Very
I
charming.
happily rewatch it just to like, even if it's just to like my 80% where I'm just like kind of watching it in the background while I'm doing something else. Lovely. It's always a good experience.
So yeah, shout out, watch Dungeons and Dragons next time you can, because it is like a good comfort movie. Just slap it on. Maybe you're folding laundry or something like that. It's super fun.
It's a good family movie.
It's
like
cute.
Has some action.
Yeah.
It's very cute, very charming.
Chris Pine's like he's just a hot guy to look at the entire time. He has beautiful eyes. I mean, I don't know. We were just sitting there gawking over Chris Pine. We're big Chris Pine fans in this house. We have a lot of arguments about the best Chris in Hollywood.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Chris Pratt, we're a little down on after the Jurassic World movies.
I still like Chris Evans a lot.
Chris Evans is fine. I still just have like Captain America was just kind of annoying sometimes in those movies.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. That was how he was supposed to be playing him. So.
But like Knives Out, like he's great in that movie.
Oh yeah,
I think he's a good Johnny Storm. I thought he was a good Johnny Storm.
I mean, sure.
You didn't like him as Johnny Storm? You didn't like those Fantastic movies?
I would say 20th Century Fox X-Men or superheroes was definitely an era. It's in the same era as the prequels. It's kind of like a fever dream as to like why it and how it happened.
Yeah.
That's kind of why like I actually rewatched about a year ago all of the X-Men movies because whenever we had Dakota, I would sleep downstairs with her so Jess could, do mom things like from pumping and just like getting sleep. And it was either like I went through just like marathoning angry video game nerd and watching these crappy, like not crappy, but like 20th Century Fox like superhero films. And I watched every one of them. I don't know. Like it's crazy to compare the quality of those movies to the MCU because it's just like they felt, I guess, maybe more pulpy. They don't. It's hard to take them. You can't take them serious. Hot take, but even the first X-Men movie is just. It feels like camp. It feels like it's edgy 2000s camp. Like I don't know how it's not like outright campy. But the only way I can say it is like it's stylized, it's attitude era superheroes. You know what I mean? Like WWE. Like it's just like everyone was edgy. Everyone was wearing dark, like black, like latex or leather. Like they all have like a chip on their shoulder. They all feel like sort of a joke of or a parody of or maybe just a true rip of the comic book hero that they're playing or the comic book character that they're playing. And then you go to the Disney Marvel cinematic universe, and I feel like they tried to make them more human. They were far more relatable, and just you could like actually, which goes to show why they were such a huge hit, right? All the way up to Endgame. Like they didn't strike out. And yeah, I don't know. So do I like Johnny Storm? I think he was satirical version, like a caricature of a comic book character is what it felt like.
I'm offended.
I'm sorry, dog.
I don't necessarily disagree. I mean, that there's something about that era of movies because I watched a couple of them during my challenge last year, and some of those like early 2000, like 2004, 5 era. And if they have that soundtrack with the butt rock, you know you're not in for a good time.
Yeah.
And that era is like just honestly disgusting. Yeah, it's disgusting. It's just whatever.
I don't know, man. It's hard to watch those and take them seriously.
But hey, let's talk about some serious movies with, I would argue, very beautiful, lush, sexy soundtracks by our boy Luca Guadagnino.
Okay, so if you've already made it this point in the podcast, you should know what I'm about to ask you. Exactly. Have you hit the like button? Have you subscribed? Have you talked about whether or not you think the X-Men movies of yesteryear of 2004 are worth your time? Let us know. No, we're at this point in the time where like, hey, this is Some Damn Movies. You're on Some Damn Channel. You know, give us a like, give us a comment, subscribe. If you're listening to this on like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever you're using to listen to this, go ahead and give us that 5-star rating, right? If you give us anything lower than 5 stars, totally valid. Just have to let us know why, right? That's it. But yeah, not going to keep you here too long, but you know how to do all the things. Do all the things. We appreciate you.
So here's this is part of the episode where we discuss a director that of our choosing, just because we don't get enough comments in our YouTube comment section. So if you want to have a favorite director being talked about on our podcast, please leave a comment down below. But we chose Luca Guadagnino for this month, and we're very excited. Again, this is a simpleton podcast. Okay, we're not experts here. Okay, we're just simple boys talking with our simple, smooth brains about movies that we like or dislike, and we just talk them in our way. Like, it's all vibes based, okay? We're not experts at this.
Yeah, we're vibe reviewers.
We're vibe reviewers, okay? And we try not to talk about the MCU because we do despise them a little bit, but sometimes it just pops up. Sorry.
Yeah. It finds its way in.
So yeah, my boy
I'll start us out with this.
Guadagnino.
I want to start out with this because I actually don't think this is going to take us too terribly long if I'm being real, but we're going to start off with the protagonist because I believe we both bounced off of this multiple times. So I'll have you open this one up.
The protagonist. I'll give you the premise real quick. Everyone,
well, I was going to say, I'll read the boilerplate from
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, I'll let you do that.
So the protagonist, 1999, an Italian movie crew goes to London to make a documentary about a murder case that took place a few years before. That's all you need to know right now.
Yeah, so this stars Tilda Swinton, who plays the actress in the movie, and then some other names that I probably can't really pronounce. This is Luca's directorial debut, I believe. Yeah.
Yep.
And I think this was, let me see, distributed by nobody that we know of. So yeah, this is Raw. This is 1999. You actually get Luca himself in the movie, I believe, a couple of times.
He's credited as a cast member.
How far into this did you get?
So I also noticed something here. I don't mention names, but you know who I'm talking about with that one reviewer that I follow. And this is why I follow this person. But I just have to say, also, maybe it's, how many reviews does this movie have? Oh, there's quite a few. There's a huge pool. So I bring this up. Also, this is an aggregate. I'm not basing my opinion or what I think about this movie off of the Letterboxd reviews. It's averaging 2.6. So it's right down the line. But man, this person rated it 4 stars, and I'm just like, how? Like fucking how? Pardon my language, but yeah. So as far as like how far I made it, so I tried it, I think 3 times total. The first time I gave it the benefit of the doubt because I was watching it while I was on dad duty. So I was only like watching it the part, and I just stopped it because I had to do something baby related to like change a diaper. So I was like, I'm just gonna watch this later. I can't pay attention to it the way I need to now. Later that night, I tried it again. I made it about 30 to 40 minutes in, and I was like, I'm good. I'm going to go to sleep because I'm tired. And then I tried it the next day, and I got about the same way in because I don't like to just start from the middle. I just was like, because I felt like I was nodding off during it, and I started it again. I think I bounced off this maybe harder than I did Eraserhead, which is kind of messed up because I think I would have, I think I would have enjoyed this more. This was kind of just, I don't even know how I'd put it. So yeah, I made it like 30 minutes in. And when you were watching this, were there parts of it when you thought to yourself, should I be laughing?
Yeah,
right. To me, I felt like they were trying so hard with the comedy. There's one scene where Tilda Swinton and the crew are meeting up with like some investigators or the detectives that worked the case. They are walking outside. They all meet up at the corner, like on a street corner, and they're talking. And they're not looking at you, which is fine. They're kind of going for this documentary view. But then they start walking away from the camera and they just walk, and you keep hearing the conversation. I'm like, okay, I see what we're doing here. We're just going to continue it. They want this shot. Cool. And it goes on for too long. I'm like, is this supposed to be funny? Because that's what it felt like. I was like, this is supposed to be funny. Like I think this is part of like the comedy that I'm missing right now. And it's because I'm not smart. So I'm just going to keep watching these people walk away from me and keep carrying on with their conversation. And now I'm asking myself, why is the person with the camera still there? Because it had a problem with jumping between like, oh, this is a documentary crew, and then like a cinematic camera, right? Like a fly, and I refer to cinematic camera as being like the camera capturing the movie. Right. So it's not really a player. It's not really a character, a cast member, which they were jumping between a cast member, like documentary style, and this cinematic sort of omnipresent camera. And I was like, and then sometimes Tilda Swinton like acknowledges that camera, like trying to break the fourth wall. And I'm like, pick a lane, kind of like, I'm like, I don't know where I just honestly, if I were to give it a review, I haven't reviewed it yet. So I watched it. I'm going to give it like 1.5 stars, and I'm going to write in my review, I think I'm stupid.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny that you're saying that, because I would argue it does feel very like I just got out of like film school, because these are like sort of the thoughts I remember whenever I wanted to make a movie while I was in college, where I was like, I think it'd be so cool to make like a porn movie that was like cinematic and had all these like cinematic shots and had feeling and thought to it and shit like that. But this just seemed like he wanted to take like a real life, I'm pretty sure this was a real like murder, and then try to do this like reconstruction, like a movie within a movie.
Well, yeah, because it's like what we're watching is the behind the scenes documentary style of this crew making a movie of a murder. I didn't know if it was actually if it was actually like a murder that it was based off of, but also I don't know, man. It just felt like I feel like, yeah, if I kind of just felt like this would be like on like r/I am really smart.
Yeah, it felt very pretentious and like.
And the person I'm talking about that gave it 4 stars habitually, like movies that I have that same response to, they rate pretty highly, which is like I would say like this person is like, I am really smart. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like that checks. I'm not crazy. It's actually a litmus that I go off of sometimes, but it wasn't bad. Or no, it was bad. What am I talking about? Like, I didn't like it. I think he was too high on his supply. This is where I'm like, not to say that this was his first movie outside of, like you're given the film school example. I don't know if that was, obviously it's his directorial debut, but he's probably had stuff in between, but like way too, just trying way too hard to be experimental. Like
different. Yeah.
Did not try to like do anything, or it was trying too hard and doing too many things to like be different. And I think the most important thing in anyone's career, period, is just getting good at doing the thing before you start trying to experiment. Like, if you don't know how to make a movie, just like if you don't know how to program, trying to reinvent programming and how you do things and workflows, probably not the best thing to cut your teeth on. Right. It's even like taking like the videos we make here. We're 15 episodes into a podcast. We've never made a podcast together. This podcast episode is better than the podcast we put out 14 episodes ago. Right. And it's not us trying to reinvent the wheel. Podcasting is not crazy, but like it would be insane if we were trying to do like, I don't know, what if it was a sensory deprivation podcast where it was just like we were trying to do some weird thing where like you can only watch it in like, I don't even know how you do it. Like you just do some like crazy off the wall thing to reinvent podcasting just for the sake of doing it, to be different. And then people are like, I don't get it and I can't attach to it. I could not attach to this movie.
Yeah, I mean, same. I couldn't really, it just felt like a lot of, too many ideas that just seemed kind of jumbled at the end, or at the point that I reached. I got about an hour into it, I think. I only had like a half an hour left. But yeah, it was just too many different ideas I just didn't think really hit. And I think the idea of it felt at times like a joke. So it's like, are you taking this actual real life tragedy, trying to make a film out of it, but be a little bit divisive, a little bit different about it? But then at times it doesn't feel serious, but then you're trying to kind of take it serious within the movie. I don't know. Okay, so I'm reading one of the comments right here from somebody. So this was a real in 1994 is the murder of Muhammad El Said. The part of this comment that, which we never even, I guess, got to this part of the movie, but okay, never mind. It just, they were being hyperbolic, but they just said, shy of filming themselves taking turns shitting on the victim's grave, it's hard to imagine a more disrespectful attempt at a true crime documentary deconstruction. A hodgepodge of style is, I didn't really know it would, so that confirms, I guess, that it was actually but I mean, this seems like a movie that I also would bet that like you either will think this is like a 4 or a 5. Like you probably think it's like great, or you probably think it's going to be shit. It's either a 4 or a 1. There's nothing really probably in between. I don't think anyone's like pretty meh on this movie. I think there's probably strong opinions one way or the other.
Yeah, I think that for me, my favorite review personally so far that I've seen is kind of iconic how dumb this is. And I could kind of see that just because like some of the shots just felt so weird. Like I said, like when they were reenacting the stabbing, and this is actually, I think, something that does carry over into his other movies, but how do I start this off? I will start off with saying that I think Luca Guadagnino is great in bed. I think he's a great lover. I bet he would be. I bet he is. Reason being is this man loves sex. And there's this part where they're like going and rehearsing the stabbing. And while they're doing that, they're just getting very into it. It's like very intimate. It's honestly, in the movie, it's very awkward for me. I was like, why are we getting this into this reenactment of this death. Like why, like these three guys are like sexually charged right now. But I say all this because while that was like one of the few things I think like not worked in this movie, but like his style kind of came through, because then when we go on to the next movies, it's all about that. I think he found his niche. So I don't really have anything else to say about The Protagonist other than I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah, I would move on from it.
I actually think I would rather go and watch Eraserhead again.
And it honestly feels weird thinking that this movie was made by him, knowing that like the next however many movies he makes feels very different, right? Like the other ones are like sexual, a little complex when it comes to human emotions, a little complexity there. This one just feels like such a weird like blip in his career. Luckily it was his debut film. And then he has a string of movies that I think is technically a trilogy of films before Call Me By Your Name. Actually, I think that one's part of it. So he does Melissa P in 2005, and then I Am Love, A Bigger Splash, and then follows up that with Call Me By Your Name, which I am learning is part of his thematic, I guess, Desire trilogy. So I Am Love and A Bigger Splash is part of this like trilogy that he's named his Desire trilogy.
So you said that was what are the, so I Am Love, Bigger Splash, and what else?
Call Me By Your Name, which is the movie that we're talking about now.
Okay. I didn't know that was supposed to be like a Desire. It's probably like not a true trilogy, it's probably like a trilogy of just like different desires.
Just
like
the thematic piece of all of them is the desire.
I would have much rather have watched those other two than The Protagonist.
Hey, we can always go back to it. So Call Me By Your Name, 2017. It is based off the 2007 novel Call Me By Your Name. And like I just said, it's the final installment in his self-described Desire trilogy. So this one is set in northern Italy. They say in the movie it's like somewhere like random in northern Italy, set during the summer of 1983. And it follows a young boy, 17, living with his parents in northern Italy just for the summer, I believe. I think they say in the movie that they go there for different holidays and different times of the year.
Yeah, I think his parents, like they seem like they're pretty stationary there. But yeah, I mean, so again, the boilerplate of this is in 1980s Italy, a relationship begins between a 17-year-old teenage Elio and an older adult man hired as his father's research assistant.
So let's just get straight to that conversation, right? Like I feel like we should just get that out of the way.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess
I forgot that he was underage because this is the second time I've watched it, but I forgot he was underage in this one. One, they address it. That was kind of nice because like I immediately started comparing this to Red Rocket with Strawberry. Right, because she was underage as well, and they never really address like how that's like pretty not cool, not right, because they're like waiting for her to turn 18 in a couple weeks. This one, I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, like, so all parties were consenting, and that means like even the adults were in on it. Like the parents knew, right? They knew from the beginning. If anything, I almost felt like they set it up a little bit.
The dad for sure knew.
The dad for sure knew. And the mom definitely knew as well, because they were acting like she didn't, but she definitely, like, they were, again, they let him go. She definitely was like, yeah, there was something up. They just said like she didn't know, but I don't know. I think physically, the physicality, or not physicality, but like the way the body language she was conveying was absolutely, she knew.
I think you have to understand the context of the movie, where it's set, when it's set. Again, like, this is a discussion that people have been having forever. It's like 17, 18, 16. Italy, the age of consent's fucking 14. I guess at this time. So it just depends on how you as a person settle these type of complex conversations. For me, I completely bought into it. Like, I'm not like, I wasn't totally in love with the idea of a 17-year-old and a 24-year-old. For me, I think the biggest issue is Armie Hammer as an actor looked older than 24. And Timmy obviously looks younger, right? I think that's, for me, the perceived look of it is a little off-putting, but I got over it quickly. Just because I think their dynamic was very strong in the movie, and I think the acting was top notch, and totally bought into it. But like initially, it's like Armie Hammer looks like he's well into his fucking 30s.
Yeah, I think that as far as how do I put this? I think that in the context of the movie, it being a love that is a temporary love, right? Something that's just only around for a moment. The movie is strongly conveying on how like living in the moment, or how not living in the moment. It's talking about, it's going over how fleeting time can be, and like these moments that people have together, right? I actually love, and also kind of compared to, or not kind of, but like bringing up Red Rocket again, shot on Kodak, like 35 millimeter, like Kodak 500 film. God, this stuff looks sexy.
Yeah,
it's so.
And this is Luca's thing. Like, it's very naturalistic, right? Like, it looks like you're in it.
You have these verdant greens. It's such an enchanting scene. Like looking throughout, like this, this Italian Riviera of like that they're living in. It feels otherworldly. It feels like you're somewhere else. It feels almost like a fairy tale, which is ultimately what this movie is about, right? It's like a summer that Elio and Oliver are like together. They're not even together the whole time, right? Like there's a lot of cat and mouse prior to them like actually having their moments. I think that really starts whenever they go out in town and they go to that World War I statue, and that's when, beautiful shot too, is because like that's where Elio is on like his back is to the camera, and he's talking to Oliver, who's across the statue, and they're beating around the bush about like
admitting
feelings.
and
it's like very much like putting like, I think they were taking like the World War I statue, like, it was all this, and they're like, they're beating around the bush and being but admitting the feelings. I will say, as far as the age thing goes, I don't condone underage. Well, if it's like, I didn't feel like it was predatory. I think that's the biggest thing for me. If it feels oppressive and predatory, meaning like there's like
a power dynamic,
the power dynamic's a little different, and like it's not, maybe like it's, I wouldn't say not consensual, but where it feels like someone is obviously like controlling, wouldn't say grooming, but like separating people. Like if it was abuse, I guess it's different. This never felt like that. Like, and to bring up Red Rocket again, it felt like
exploitative, very much so.
Yeah, it was very much exploitative, and that was the point of it.
Yeah,
that was what he's getting across. But that was different, and
tonally, it was done through like a comedic lens too.
It was done through a comedic lens, and at no point in time was like Sean trying to be like, "This is cool." At least that's not what he's not like condoning it. If anything, like again, Mikey
he's a fucking loser.
Is a loser.
Yeah.
Is a piece of crap. In this, this was a fairy tale story.
Yeah,
is the best way of putting it. Like this was like two people who had mutual feelings for one another. They had a summer together. And it also taught Elio, it's like
a lot of important lessons.
It taught him a very important lesson about love and who you give that love to,
and also just identity and
sort of relish that love.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get to the dad's like beautiful speech at the end because that's the one that really hits me.
That monologue is. I watched it twice last night. I played through. I was like, I have to go back.
But building up to all that, though, again, like as you were talking about, I do want to harp a little bit more on just the beautiful cinematography and just the overall look of it and how just lush the music is so gorgeous. And it really is like, for me, what I got out of this, and we'll talk a little bit with Challengers, is it feels like the music itself has such a language within the movie, and it like it's what expresses, that, like, for me scale, what expresses in this movie more so Challengers, and it feels like that's kind of what Luca's thing is, right? He's sort of showing love, or his themes are of love, but through like a strange lens. Like Challengers is about tennis. This one feels like a lot of it is through the music and stuff, that because Elio is sort of like a savant in a way, like he's like a super genius kid or something like that, or he's just really well read. And
I think he's just well read. I mean, is this Timmy Chalamet's like first bit? Was this his breakout? Actually, let me look at that. I was thinking about it to myself last night. Like, I mean,
he did get nominated for this
by earliest first. So I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, Call Me by Your Name. I'm trying to think of anything that I had heard of before. I had heard of the Adderall Diary, so I think, isn't that a show? But yeah, this was like his. I think this was his, Interstellar, of course. But like
that one doesn't really count.
Was he really in Interstellar?
No. Yeah,
no. He had a scene. Now, don't get me wrong. Put it on a resume. It looks good.
So yeah, the music by Sufjan.
This was his first big breakout, I think.
Oof. Guys, just add this to your Apple Music or Spotify. I used to listen to it after this movie came out, just to listen to the soundtrack.
Bro, fucking Visions of Gideon, that ending. Oh
yeah. God. But yeah, I mean, like a lot this movie just feels like right from the start just feels so like he just starts it. Like the movie just starts. Like it gets through this like cool little like montage of nice, beautiful looking pictures. But the movie just starts once it opens from those credits to just like Timmy and his friend. Because a lot of the movie is about kind of him accepting or trying to learn his identity and his like sexual awakening. He ends up actually betting like a woman first.
Maurizia.
Yeah, and like just the intensity of like learning his desire for something else and his first love and
Maurizia.
Yeah, and also like back on a little bit about the age thing. It didn't feel exploitative to me because, again, I didn't feel like a strange power dynamic between him and Elio, because really he was against at their house. It up. Yeah,
that was the thing. Is like they brought up like whenever they had that conversation, Oliver talks to Elio saying like, I just don't want to have like, I don't want this how this will impact you. Like, you know, you're young,
or himself, because he wasn't sure either,
or himself too. Yeah, and you know, at the end you find out he had quite a life. He had like because like how long is it? Like, isn't it the same year? It's like that winter.
It's like a year later or something, or like 6 months later or
but
something like that.
Like he's getting married. He's having
he's like he's engaged or something. So like
he's engaged.
Well, he also says so. It's also about like the acceptance part too. Is like maybe in his world back in wherever he's living, his parents wouldn't accept something that like it seems Elio's parents seemed super accepting about, like, and even his dad had like a not weird, but like a questionable. I think a lot of people debate whether or not the dad like is admitting that he also had like these type of thoughts whenever he was younger, but never felt the need to, or felt the confidence to push forward, and that's why he's like so.
It definitely
Elio doing it.
I think it definitely. I think it comes off like that. I think that's a safe bet to say that that's what he was kind of getting at, because he was even saying that the love, or like the feelings, the love that these two, Oliver and Elio, have experienced is nothing like what he has experienced. And like he said, he's never had anything like that. And I don't think it was just like being bi-curious. I think it was simply just saying like there is a genuine spark between you and Oliver, and it would have been criminal for you two to never have experienced it, and they were very adult about the entire.
Oh yeah,
I think that's the thing that really changes this movie for me, or like this scenario, is because again, like everyone was on board with discussing like boundaries, right? Like I guess I'm bringing up again, like Oliver talks to Elio about like, I don't know how this is going to affect me or yourself, myself. Like, what would your parents think? All this stuff. And they hash that out. Like, it feels equal. Like, it does not feel, again, like exploitive like it did in something like Red Rocket, where it's meant to be exploitive, which is why, while we're not fine with this scenario, I'm fine with it being in the movie, because that's the point of the movie. Like, that's the point of the relationship. In this relationship, we're seeing two people who have a natural chemistry, exploring something over a summer, and
they're confused about still as well.
They're confused about it. Like, they're confused up until that phone call. And I've got to say, like, this kind of goes for both this Call Me by Your Name and Challengers, but I really appreciated how as soon as Oliver leaves on the train, because they get their like weekend together and out of town, and then he leaves on the train. That would have been the climax, right? This is where Oliver is leaving Elio. This is where like their time comes to an end. I really loved that scene. I just
on the train,
just on the train, like right before it, when Oliver leaves, and we just let the scene play out
with the sound too. It was just so raw.
Yeah,
love that.
It just felt very raw. Like, again, bringing up the omnipresent camera, even though that is the style, right? That's just it's a cinematic camera. I felt like I was there. I felt like I was watching a heartbreak, or not even that was breaking, just a heart that was still confused, that wanted this.
Yeah, he's still fighting it, right? Too, like, because he hadn't
really,
even called his mom yet, right? Like, and he hadn't even fully broken down yet.
Yeah, and then that wasn't until he called his mother and said, you know, can someone come pick me up? Like, he just left. Man. Like, and the big thing I appreciate about from that point on, we start really, I think this is like a 20-30 minute section where we just start talking about, we start closing out the film. Like, it gives, or Luca gave enough time to the viewer, to the movie, to really start closing up and bringing a third act to close from this point. Like, we start like closing out the second act, we go into the third act, and I felt like it was just very well done. I mean, this is where we get like his father's it's like
Mr. a chef's kiss at the end.
Yeah, like that. It really was like that je ne sais quoi to just like send it out the door.
Like, this line right here monologue kills me every fucking time. To feel nothing so as not to feel anything. What a waste.
Yeah, that. Oh man, it's such a great monologue, and it really sums up the entire. And then only to go straight into probably one of the most. I wouldn't say is it heart-wrenching? It's just, I think it's just a beautiful outro for this movie where Oliver calls him back. Oliver just calls. That's it.
Like, just to check in with the family. Yeah, because they all had a good time. They all liked them. Everyone liked them, right? Like, they were very big fans of the entire town liked them.
Yeah, like everyone, they were all great. I mean, this was like the first research assistant that, because there's the apricot, not the apricot scene, but the apricot scene.
Yeah.
where his dad is quizzing Oliver on like the roots or like where the name apricot came from, and apparently he says it all. This is like his test, that he does every year, and Oliver knocked it out of the park. Really, this is like also setting the tone for like how everyone does and how everyone is a big fan of Oliver right at this point on. But yes, they were all really good friends. But then when they let Elio and Oliver talk, and they, you know, Elio's just telling him how much he misses him and how he's like, how are you doing? Like, I really miss you. And then he just talks about how he's engaged and, you know, and he tells him at the end, never forget that moment, like never forget that summer. And then he just walks over to
fireplace.
He just walks over to a fireplace, just squats down, just looks into a fire. One of the best credit scenes, period.
I mean, what acting is that too? Like,
my question too is like, I think there was like quite a bit of like ad lib. I don't think they like, I think there's a nice chunk of scenes where they just went off the script. I think there's some with, and this is controversial, I guess, but like Armie Hammer, what did he get caught up in? What was his
cannibalism?
Was it just cannibalism?
Which is funny because later Luca makes a movie about cannibalism starring Timmy.
Which movie is that?
Bones and All, which is another
about cannibal. Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, it's mainly about love and yada, 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 like most of Luca's movies, but it's done again, like I was saying earlier, it's always done through like a different lens or different something. In this case, it was like two cannibals.
Well, I just know that he got canceled out of the atmosphere, just absolute, just nuclear strike. I remember seeing something on Reddit where they were like Armie Hammer is trying to sell like timeshares or something, or like condos in like South Africa or wherever he was at, like, or maybe Puerto Rico. I don't know. He was somewhere else, like just trying to sell. And I'm like, man, that sucks, because like he crushed it in this movie. Like,
yeah, he was great.
And I thought there was something bigger. Is like, I don't want to even go into the controversy of Armie Hammer,
like general, like, yeah, and like, I'm not, yeah, he got blacklisted after all that, deservingly so. Yeah,
I was gonna say I don't know all of it, but man, this movie, like, what a movie to go. Well, I guess he technically went out on Death on the Nile.
Yeah,
but this would have been the movie I would have rather have went out on for sure. I say all this though because he, I mean, he just wanted to, or how did I lose my train of thought already? God damn. Yeah, that ending though was just this like, remember the moment, remember what we had, and like moving on. And I don't know, man, I can't say enough about this movie. Actually, I think I might make this a 5-star movie. I rated it 4. I think it is a 5. Again, it's not, well, I would say, I guess it is perfect, but there's parts of it where I'm like a little, it's not enough to knock it down to like a 4.5, but it's
I just feel like
fantastic.
He took this material, and I think it could have gone a million different ways, especially being like an LGBT in a way, like, story. They never come out and just say like I'm gay or whatever like that, which it seems like a lot of,
it's very
especially
humanizing.
Modern movies, is like they really have to like tokenize the LGBT character, or a lot of those movies. Or this one, I just felt like it feels like the love is universal. When I feel like they tried to make love stories within this lens, it always just feels like this is a gay love story. And that's just, I don't think that's the best way to go about these type of things. Love is a universal feeling that we all have, and I felt it really hard in this movie. And this is, like I said at the beginning, and this has been on my top 4 on Letterboxd now, I think for a year. It's one of my favorite movies. I cry as soon as the dad starts talking, because of, again, this is one of those moments in like movies where it feels like the parents are never like emotionally like functional. But like everyone seemed very mature. Like there was like no anger between anybody. It was just nice to see that type of love story on screen, especially again like a LGBTQ story where it wasn't like bad, like nothing was negative. It was just a normal love story where you go through these heartaches and these wonderful moments, and then the idea of like fleeting time and you never have enough time, and then dealing with the aftermath and how hard you still feel, but you know that you get to look back because towards the credits, like you see in his facial expressions, like he's crying and you can tell he's really sad, but he also has these moments where he smiles a little bit where you can tell that
he's processing. It was like the closure he was looking for.
Yeah, and exactly, that was the closure. And it's also not an LGBTQ story where it's talking about like AIDS and shit. Finally,
I also want to just go and say, like, this is why I think this movie is so great, because it's not like, is it LGBTQ? Yeah, because I guess it's two men. They're homosexual, right? Like they're not. Like we don't even know. It doesn't matter. None of that matters. It's just a love story, and that's why I think it's just like it's agnostic of any title that you can give it, and I think that's what's beautiful about it. This doesn't prance around saying like, look at me, like we're gay, like look at us, like where if anything, like whenever the dad's friends come in, like and he gets on to Elio for making fun. I
love that line,
them, where he's like, yeah, you call them Sonny and Cher behind their backs, but you'll accept a gift from them, like it's no problem. Like that's mess, because try to like tell them, like, because that is the moment where they introduce what I would say is like the token LGBT, like the token gay couple into the movie to compare and contrast this relationship off of, right? And in this way is just normalizing love, right? Because it doesn't matter what sex, what gender you are, like these two men just
are so deeply connected.
They're very connected. I mean, at least one, I think they do love each other. It's just life goes the way it goes.
Life goes on, yeah.
And it strips away the whole, the token aspects of, gender and like how, and like in cinema and in like our perceptions of like, oh, this is what like a homosexual relationship is. It's like, or it's just two normal fucking dudes, right? It's just two normal people.
Humans, that
have a strong connection. And so like, let's not try to put titles on things. Let's try not to like make it a thing. It's just, no, they just have this connection. It's very,
and it was undeniable.
It's elegantly done. And so, it was very undeniable. And there's not many of these films. And I think more films that put that out there, the better we are.
That sensitivity, right? Like that grace. I think I don't want to say normalizing. It's just a human lens, right? It's like the sexual, like the like again, like we don't care about whether it's like, oh, this is a homosexual, romance. It's like it's just a romance. It's just two people that like it strips away all of those titles and all that like. You don't think about that when you're watching this movie. You're just thinking about two people that like the chemistry between Elio and Oliver is palpable. Like they really crushed those roles, which is why I was getting at. Like, I think some of it was improvised, like ad lib, because like I don't think you can direct some of that, and I think they just kind of hung around each other a lot and then just discussed how they were going to do some things, and I think they crushed that, and it felt so natural. And this is the role that, like I've said, like this is the role that made me like stan Timmy. Like I think this is his role. He fucking crushes it. I think the way he like has this like adolescence and like he plays a 17-year-old, I think in the characterization perfectly. Like he was believable. He had such range. He had personality. He had charm. And they committed. I think that's the most important thing to this movie is that these two actors who are cis both went for it and didn't hold back. And it proved good. And it was 5 out of 5 for me. Like this movie fucking rocks in my opinion.
Do you want me to? I'm going to be controversial. I think Timmy peaked at Call Me by Your Name.
I don't disagree.
I'm looking at all of his everything else.
I think Dune 2. I think he kills it.
I don't think it. I don't.
It doesn't come close to this.
It doesn't come like. But I was gonna say like you could change. All right, another hot take. You could replace Timothée Chalamet with anyone, with another actor like around his same grade, and it would have been the same Paul Atreides. I could already come up with. I bet I could think of another
name
Paul
one.
Atreides. What?
Name one.
What was his name that played Wrath? The one that played Elvis. Oh. You could literally put him in and swapped like his roles. He could have been easily Paul Atreides.
I don't know. I don't want to hear an Elvis impersonation of Paul Atreides.
No, he's just stoic. Like Paul in the books is like becomes. Like, I mean, there's some passion there, but he ends up becoming pretty stoic, and it's not like I don't think Paul is necessarily like the hardest role to fill. Is it the most important role to fill in Dune? Absolutely. Do you need to have like a marquee actor in that role? Yes. That's why I'm saying like the pool for people to like be Paul Atreides is larger than I think people that could have pulled off Elio in Call Me by Your Name. And I'm just thinking like French Dispatch. Yeah, that's fun, but it was just Call Me by Your Name.
He's great in Little Women.
He was good in Little Women, but you could have. I'm going to keep saying like, oh yeah, he's replaceable, but it's like he didn't. I think he was better in Little Lady Bird than.
He's great in Lady Bird too.
Yeah, I think he's good, but I still think that Call Me by Your Name, he just
Wonka
acted his ass off. Yo, Wonka was good. Wonka was solid. I enjoyed it, but I mean,
he's fun in Don't Look Up.
Marquee actor. I mean, Don't Look Up was
Beautiful Bird.
Was good.
Or Beautiful Bird, Beautiful Boy. He's great in that one.
I haven't watched that one.
I don't know. I think he's a great actor, but yeah, I don't disagree. I think this is his peak, and that's okay. A lot of people have early peaks, and they kind of just flatline for a while. If his peak is Call Me by Your Name, that's a fucking 5 out of 5 movie. So good.
I'm not trying to say he's flatlining by any means. This dude is killing it. I'm saying like watching Call Me by Your Name, I understand how this is probably his. I still think this is his breakout role. Like,
yeah. Oh no. Yeah. 100%. Because it was 2017.
Everyone was talking.
His big role before that was probably Interstellar or Miss Stevens.
Interstellar. It's very hard to call Interstellar his breakout.
Well, as in, I'm pretty sure that was technically his first like big movie. He's in it.
Oh yeah, he's in it for like 5 minutes, but not even that. He's like a.
I don't know. It's a good movie.
But yeah,
Luca crushed it. This is, I think, what defines his next however many movies. Is Call Me by Your Name. And I want to leave this on with one of the other lines from the dad's monologue. So right now there's sorrow, pain, don't kill it, and with it, the joy you felt.
Again, if you haven't clicked that like button, if you have not subscribed, and if you have not left a comment, what are you doing? You're already here. I am currently an hour into this recording. How the hell have you not done that already? If you haven't rated this on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, what are you doing with your life? You give us that 5 out of 5 because you know we deserve it. And if we don't deserve it, you need to tell us why we don't deserve it. And that's it. Just make it a good review. Don't just be like, hey, this fucking bespectacled dude on this review is saying Timothée Chalamet peaked in 2017 with Call Me by Your Name. You know what? Leave me that comment. You leave me that comment down below that's like, oh yeah, this guy thinks that Timmy peaked. Yeah, he did. I stick by it. If you're going to dislike this video for that, I'll take that dislike. I'll take it. Because he's still a great actor. He's still a great one. I'm just saying he is not, and I don't think he will pass Call Me by Your Name.
I feel like the internet probably thinks he's overrated at this point. I guarantee it.
Probably. He's approaching. I think once he started dating Kylie Jenner, they were like, we're done.
Oh yeah.
Like once he got into the Kardashian clique, like I think they were, but like, you know what? I'm going to be better than that. I'm still sticking with him. I think he's worth it. I just don't think he's passed himself up. So Timmy, if you're watching this, hey, boo-boo, hit that like button, subscribe, do all the things. Let me know down below. And hey, I'm not meaning any offense. I'm not trying to tell you right now, Timmy, that you're a bad actor. You're not. You're a great actor. You're just not going to do Call Me By Your Name again. Call Me By Your Name is, dare I say, your magnum opus. Do I think that? Do I think this is the best?
It's okay. I agree.
That's fine.
I think it actually will be the best he does.
It will be the best thing that you do. And there are actors and actresses in this world that wish they could be in a production half as good as Call Me By Your Name. So you let me know down below whether you agree or not. And then we'll talk about it. Or we'll have you on the podcast. We can talk about it.
Honestly, what you should be looking at when it comes to his career is just look at the directors he's been with. Look at all the directors.
James Mangold, Denis Villeneuve, who did Wonka. Wonka was probably
Paul King, who did he did the Paddington movies.
Paddington,
which are supposed to be goated. I mean, you got Greta Gerwig.
Yeah, he had Greta there. James Cameron, didn't he do the King?
Adam McKay.
Was that
Denis?
David McCaw. I'm not familiar with him. I thought he was in a. Yeah, he was with Greta twice.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, dude.
Christopher Nolan.
Yeah, I mean, for like 5 minutes, but still, yeah, like we'll give him Chris Nolan.
The Safdie brothers. He'll be in their next movie. So
we already said Wes Anderson, right?
Yeah. So yeah, Wes Anderson movie.
Yeah. So look, Timmy. Back on that ad read real fast. If you're watching this, homie, you've got chops. I'm not talking shit. I am simply saying that you're not going to pass Call Me By Your Name. But goddamn, look at who you're working with.
Woody Allen.
Don't listen to some talking heads on. Wait, Woody Allen? What?
Yeah, he did a Woody Allen movie called A Rainy Day in New York. I've never seen this. I want to watch it now. It has Selena Gomez. Elle Fanning, Jude Law, Diego Luna, and Liv Schreiber.
Allen doing right now? How is Armie Hammer blacklisted and Woody Allen is not?
Who knows?
Woody Allen literally married his daughter. Well, adopted daughter, but very weird.
Creepy very nonetheless.
Yeah, because it was definitely gave grooming vibes. So. Damn, dude.
All right, so anyway, challengers. Luca's next.
Before we get into that,
I want to go.
Start us off. Well, I'll start us off. Well, I keep doing it. Boilerplate incoming challengers 2024. Her game, her rules. Tennis player turned coach Tashi has taken her husband Art and transformed him into a world famous major champion. To jolt him out of his recent losing streak, she signs him up for a challenger event, close to the lowest level of pro tournament, where he finds himself standing across the net from his former best friend and Tashi's former boyfriend.
I feel like this is not what this movie is about.
What?
I mean, this is what the movie's about.
Yeah.
But not really.
This is exactly what it's about.
If I were to describe this movie, this would be the worst way to describe this movie. This is a horny, sexy, like tennis movie, but it's not really about tennis. It's just about like weird, love and like I don't even really know. I guess jealousy, just sexual tension, vulnerability,
yeah, I mean, to start off,
power dynamics, like manipulation.
Yeah, so Tashi is, just like we said, she turned coach because she suffered an injury during an Olympic or I think
just a college. It was literally a college match.
Yeah, it was a college match that she threw out her knee. No, she was doing
no, she was in college because that was the entire conversation between
college, but
between her. Yeah, it was just like a regular match because if you remember the fight before
she was doing like a U.S. Open,
she was like. Go out there and like beat up on Sally Miss like Pepperdine or whatever like that. She never went pro.
No, she didn't because she injured her knee, and so that's what kind of turned her into Art's coach eventually. So I guess the way of kind of unpacking this is so Zendaya was Zendaya was an all-star. She was like one of the best, had a huge, like a promising future, goes on, gets hurt. And during this time though, she attracted the eye of two men or boys at the time, which was Art and Patrick. Both of them were college players as well, or college tennis players. And they both sort of
the beginning of the movie they're in high school or something like that.
They're still in high school,
and they're like at like a tennis academy together, and they're basically duo partners. They're like the best junior players, and this is where they all meet. Because she's like the best junior player. This is before they're going to college. Because if you remember, Patrick never goes to college because he goes straight pro. That's the
I'll
entire.
let you take this.
Yeah.
You sound very defensive right now. You just run it up.
Well, you're saying it wrong.
Okay.
So again, it starts out. This duo, Art and Patrick, are this like crazy duo junior team and blah blah blah, and they fall in love with this up and coming like tennis prodigy. Like she's like the best of the best. She beats up on everybody. Tashi, played by Zendaya, and it basically intercuts throughout the movie of the present time match between Art and Josh, or Art and Patrick, and throughout the film it's about their time built up, and so it's sort of this sexual tension between the two. There's a scene that they end up like back at the hotel after she wins her match, and they won their match before they're about to do their finals the next day. They're in a hotel, and a lot of it's also about them like kind of coming to terms that they're kind of attracted to each other and they're attracted to her, and so it becomes this love triangle, and they're battling for her love throughout the entire movie basically, as young stars up until current day when they're fighting again. Patrick is sort of like the class clown almost. Like he's the goofy guy. He's what would be a word? How would you describe him? I mean, he's just Patrick is the he's
hopeful.
He's hopeful.
Hopeless kind of. He's past his time. He just keeps trying to break into like the top 100 to get into a US Open by doing these challenger events, and he always is just shy. His whole point of this. So I agree with what you're saying. Like you're right on the story plots, but I did not think this was, while it was absolutely sexually charged, I think the emphasis that was put on it being like this, like kind of like horny, just all about the sex. I thought it was just about how they were using each other to get to their means. And I actually think that the love triangle, I liked this movie a lot more than I thought I was going to, which really? I already thought was like, this is going to be good. I was like, this is going to be a good movie. But like if I did not watch Call Me by Your Name again, I would have probably said I liked it more than Call Me by Your Name. But that's because the way they set up everything was really well done. As Jared said, they're at this challenger event, which is, you know, like a pretty much like an amateur trying to go pro, low ranking tournament. Art has been down on his luck. He's getting his ass whooped. He can't string a win together to save his life. And it's because his heart's not in it. He just wants to retire. He has made his bag. He has a daughter. He just wants to live with what he's earned and just live it out. He's done. But Zendaya has been vicariously living through him, or Tashi. Tashi wants him to keep going to win it all, because she cannot do that. She physically missed out, because of this injury. And the reason why Patrick becomes tantalizing to her, eventually to her, potentially, she still loves Art. She's still she committed to Art. Art stood up for her a couple of times, gave her a chance whenever no one else was. I do not doubt that she loves Art, but she loves the game more. She wants to win. She's a competitor. She's a challenger. She does not want to just be sitting at home, raking in interest coming from their investments, right?
And she doesn't even care about love, it seems, too. She doesn't give a shit. Like, she loves art, but I don't think she cares about being in love. I think she kind of says that anyways in the movie at some point, where she doesn't want to be in love.
Ending with Pat, like, right? Because like she goes up and is asking Pat to throw the match, right? She goes up and says like, I need you to throw it. And she's willing to do whatever for him to do. Because so yes. Like,
well, that's because if Art is not in tennis anymore, that means she's not in tennis anymore.
True, but the whole
she's
thing
being
too
selfish.
Is that Patrick's telling her that like you could come coach me for a year and I can be that. I can go to the Open. I still have that dog in me. Right. That's really what it comes down to, is that Art does not have that dog in him. And she doesn't want to let go. And Pat, it could absolutely be that person to go that next level. And he even tells her, like, we can do this. She considers it. And that's why they meet at the end. And she's like, she also still has feelings for him. And I think part of it is because he has this drive. Like he's kind of like Taboo. He's the bad boy that like, no, I wouldn't even say a bad boy. He's just the bad choice. Like the one that's just trying to live that dream, living in his car, going to like whatever tournament he can go to try to place into to like the pro tennis like league. And he's just trying as hard as he can. He's never stopped. Which was kind of, man, the ending was so good. But yeah, so I think she loved Art. I think she did. Again, like but at the same time, you bring it up is like, because what she was doing, was she just trying to sleep with Patrick? I don't think she was. I think she went there. She did that. She liked it maybe because she does have chemistry, or not chemistry. She has history and she has enjoyed him. But she also knew that if Art lost this challenger, he would just be, it's over. She, I think, wanted to do it for him. I don't know. You bring up a good point.
Maybe I don't even think any of that, like, I mean, really by the end, for me, what I picked up was like, they all needed each other in a way. I mean, they all realized that they all need each other to be able to have that fight, right? Like Art needed to be cucked in a way by Patrick. Because that's what was his desire in the beginning of the movie, right? Like they
was to best Patrick.
They never played better tennis until they had to fight over the centerpiece, which was Tashi, right? Like, but it's not even they weren't even really fighting for her by the end of it. They were just sort of fighting for just, I guess it was more of a realization. It's like, holy shit, we do all kind of need each other to like be what we want to be. Like Art needed that push, and that push was Patrick, and Patrick needed, in some way, he needed Art because like that's what made him play better, was that rivalry. It gave them purpose.
I agree with you on that. Yeah, like thinking about the ending now, because I love this ending. So for those of you haven't watched it, I don't know why you're still here listening to this part. You could be watching this movie and enjoying it fully. So if you haven't, hit that watch later button, come back. We'll talk about it. But for those of us that have watched it, yeah, the ending where when he gives Art, when he's serving to Art and he uses the serve that like, you know, goes back to when he said, if you serve it like me, then like you guys had sex. Yeah. And then, I was not expecting them to like go back to that, which maybe I should have, but they hit it so well, made it so casual that like whenever he served it like Art, and then all of a sudden just when Art's like, what the fuck you? Like, no, you fucking didn't, or whatever. And then Tashi doesn't know anything about it. And then he looks at like Tashi and they're putting it all together. Yeah. When everything starts coming together at the end, and then like they serve it, and it doesn't even matter who won, because like I think they all won at that point. I think that was the whole thing, like where you're getting back to, like they kind of needed each other. But like, did they win? Did either of them win?
What does it matter?
Like, I'm trying to think. Like, I thought maybe I just missed something, but
no. I mean, I feel like that's kind of like Luca's thing, right? It's like kind of like an ambiguous ending. Like the end of Calling Me by Your Name. Like, he sort of gets that last call and stuff like that, but it's still kind of an ambiguous ending. You don't really know. Like, is he gonna like continue with this, or like, who knows? But like this one, you don't know who wins, but you kind of know that like there was like that final like aha moment of like, whoa,
come on.
I guess we have needed each other. Yeah. Because throughout the movie, basically what happens is like, Patrick, when they were younger, Patrick wins because he's the better tennis player. And
yeah, so, Patrick is like the natural talent.
And he's also like very charismatic, and he's like seductive, and supposedly is hanging dong. But like him and Tasha, they date for a little bit while, you know, in the first year of college, and then she breaks her knee, yada yada, and they get in an argument, yada yada yada. And then it sort of intersplices again through this like current day match. And then over time you learn that like the give and pull of like when he's been in their life here and there. And yeah, and at the end it's just sort of a resolution of like, holy shit, like, yeah, I guess this love triangle is not out of obligation, but it's what we need to fight.
Yeah, I think it's like they all have like this like not like they're dependent on each other, but I think they just work better together. I think they work kind of a team. Like, and I think at minimum it was Art and Patrick getting back together. Because again, like she gives her again another like Chekhov's gun moment where she like gives her victory like guffaw, where she just like yells "come on" whenever they play, like, because like it's back on, like it's happened again. Like whatever Art needed, it happened. And yeah, like the only, because like, yeah, you don't know what happens after that moment, other than they're hugging, I think, after it, right? Doesn't it end like he like kind of like hugging across the he like across the net or something?
Yeah, he jumps across the net.
He jumps.
Yeah.
So things about this movie that I really liked.
The overall look and style, yeah.
The style. And this is where I get back to like, I think Luca's probably great in bed, because this man, these last two films, like, and I'm saying like he's just sensual. These movies are just exuding. This one is very unapologetically sexual and charged.
Well, he describes his own movie as horny and a psychological warfare in tennis. So
that is probably the best way of putting it, because the thing is, yeah, Tashi's relentless. She has her objective, and you do think to yourself, like, is Art like really her husband, or is Art just how she is trying to live out her dreams, right? I think Patrick, because like that could have been Patrick too. It's just Patrick wasn't. The thing is Patrick was like not as into it. I think it was because Art was such a passive, spineless little boy that she could manipulate, and Patrick was not that. Patrick could never be that.
And he even admits it too, like, because they have that conversation where he like calls her an asshole or something, or what was it? She says something, and then he's like, "Yeah, I know." He just
called her a bitch.
It was something. No. I forget what the word was, but he basically just admits that, like, he admits to it, like he knows who he is, but he doesn't try to hide it.
Yeah,
because she's like, because he's part of like a rich family, and he can always just go back. But he's just like sitting there sleeping in his car. He's down on his luck since, you know, in the middle of time.
He confronts her. Yeah,
and he's like, I know who the fuck I am, dude. Like, I do this tennis thing. This is what I can do. This is the only thing I can do. And then I guess probably fuck bitches too.
Yeah. I mean, that's what he was doing. He was like sleeping, like getting with like Tinder dates just to have a place to stay.
Yeah, that scene was funny where he's like swiping through Tinder on his broken phone, and then he goes to the bar, and then he barely talks to the lady and sees Tashi, goes like fucks her shit up for a second, and then goes back and just makes out with the lady, and she's like, whatever. She was questioning her decision of him kissing her right away after he got back, but he's like, well, he's kind of hot, so.
Yeah. I mean, that's really, I'm trying to think of like, how can is there anything else that I want to unpack of this movie? The cinematography was really good. I think you had a lot of these like,
very like sweaty, like up close, like very contrasty,
very intimate. Not even intimate. Yeah. Just like very like,
what's the word?
Vulgar, almost like scurrilous, just like not scurrilous, but like very like sweaty,
very energetic, animated, like cinematography, like especially like that in the end match when they have like the ball cam. That stuff was cool.
I actually hated that part.
Oh really? I thought it was nicely done. I didn't think it went on for too long.
It was. I'm always going to lean on the part of just like a practical shot. Like I'm like, what did this add having the ball cam? I would have rather have just had like a more creative, something that's just like a fast camera panning back and forth to them. Maybe that was on one of the cuts. I don't know. I just think it wasn't. I think it looked. I did not think it looked that great.
Oh, so I complained about this during our our Oscars talk. How do you feel about the music not being nominated?
I think I just answered your question to myself because I can't really remember the music.
What?
I remember liking it, but
it was
like,
the
it's
entire
not like
movie.
Call Me by Your Name. I'm for some reason. It's also been a couple weeks since I watched this. I watched this like when we first. Okay. So like I was thinking about doing another watch through of it, but I wanted to watch Call Me by Your Name, and I've just been busy not busy. Oh, I was off island this whole week, so we took a little vacation. So I had this week was pretty much chalked up, but so that's kind of where I'm fleeting right now. But it doesn't. I guess crazy. I'll say like I remember liking it and just going off of what Luca goes for, like his ear. I'm sure that it was sexy. I'll tell you this: it probably should have beat out a spot that was Emilia Perez up for it
like twice, yeah.
Yeah, so like it should have. I can already tell you that like this probably had more effort into it.
That's crazy.
Emilia
I mean,
Perez.
What we both like remember or like pick up from movies, like the music is the thing I remember the most from this first time I watched it. So going into it this second time, I was like, I cannot wait to hear this like electronica, like heavy, like it's pulsing. It like feels like your heart is beating the entire time. It's very erotic. I thought it was awesome, and it was Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. So I was shocked that it didn't get nominated, but I guess
I didn't realize Trent Reznor was on it.
Yeah,
that was very different for what I would never have expected him to be one of the. Well, I'm not a producer for it, but I guess the like in charge of that score. Yeah, no, I mean, unfortunately right now I can't even remember any of like this. I'm trying to like bring it up in my head and I'm like, that being said, I just watched Call Me by Your Name last night and I just have like that soundtrack loaded in my head right now.
So I like that soundtrack more, but that's just more up my alley. But this one I thought it really just popped off the screen for me. It played like another character. It was the three main characters and then the music, and as well as I guess the cinematography also played a heavy. That is interesting that
I'm not like picking up on it the same way because I know I didn't hate it. I'm just gonna go ahead and like I said, like I think it deserves a spot more than Emilia Perez did. So it's real shitty that because Challengers didn't get nominated for anything.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Like what a historic snub for a film because like it deserved something,
right? Yeah,
like at least a nomination. Like Jesus Christ, like could Amazon not buy like a spot in there? Like did they just not care? Were Amazon the people that are like our movies are good enough that we don't have to pay for the award?
I think it was a timing thing. Because he released 2 movies last year, so this book ended, right? Like he started the year with Challengers. It was actually one of the first movies I watched during last year, and then he ended the year with Queer, which I didn't get a chance to watch myself, which I do want, and I think it's on streaming now, so it's a little easier to watch. But let's just wrap up the Challengers talk. I mean, overall, what was your overall feelings on it compared to the rest of the movies that we watched?
Are we doing a ranking right now?
Yeah, I guess.
Are we ranking them?
Maybe just final thoughts. I thoroughly enjoy Challengers. I think it rocks.
I think Challengers was a lot of fun. I think it's probably his most accessible between the two. I think Call Me by Your Name is so fantastic. It's his best.
You need to have an open mind for that one.
you have to know what you're getting into a little bit. Like you have to have a little bit of context. I would not just bring this up on like my parents, right? I wouldn't just be like, oh, we're gonna watch this. They would probably just be bored as shit while watching it, or be like, this is kind of weird.
I think there's also like a maturity with it too, with Call Me By, like an emotional maturity that I think you have to have a little bit watching Call Me By Your Name, because I agree. Like my mom would look at that movie and be like, the fuck is this stupid gay shit or something like that? Like,
yeah, like
because she hates the movie Milk. Like I buy her the movie Milk.
You've told me that,
and she just hates it for some reason.
Her?
Yeah, I don't. She has.
How many copies does she have it?
Oh, I mean, over 10 years worth.
You buy it for her on physical.
Yeah,
every year.
I have 3 copies myself.
I've yet to watch Milk, but I know vaguely what it's about. It's a state's congressman, right, or a mayor?
Yeah, Harvey Milk. Yeah.
I don't want to go into that right now, but that's kind of funny that you do that to her. But yeah, I would not bring up Call Me By Your Name to just like anybody. Yeah, there is an emotional maturity required, I think, to like watch it, but it is fantastic. Just cinematically, it's just fantastic.
Gorgeous. Yeah.
But just like story wise, like I think this would bounce off a lot of people. Challengers is, I think, his most accessible.
Yeah.
Which is also why it's kind of crazy that it just got looked over as far as Oscars go. Because I think I've been talking about how I like rank things. Like I just did like a ranking for books that I'm working on right now. But the way I have it is like, if I were to rank this as like something as like a C, it's like, it's not bad if it's a C. It's just, I think it's more for a niche audience. Right. And so I say this because I think Challengers is actually more to a general audience. I think a general audience could just like watch this in a movie theater and be like, oh, I liked this. I'd say it to be a little bit older. I think there is an emotional maturity to it, but I think anyone who just wants a drama would probably be really into it. So if I had to rank these, Protagonists is at the fucking bottom. I wasted time on this movie.
And you can add in Suspiria because you've watched that, right?
Yeah, Suspiria is fantastic. It's really slow, but I love the play format. I like the ending's great.
It looks gorgeous as well.
It looks fantastic. I think for me, Suspiria. I mean, if I were to rank Suspiria against all of them, I mean, it's still pretty straightforward. Protagonist is at the bottom, not holding anything up, just trying to get thrown into a garbage can. Suspiria is next, which is just a fun horror take on horror, based on an old movie, I think, or an old play. I think it's just an old movie.
It's a remake.
From like the 70s.
It's a full.
I know.
Like 1-to-1 remake.
Suspiria is a remake. Oh, it is 1-to-1?
I'm pretty sure it's pretty damn close to the original. Yeah.
It would not surprise me if it was a 1-to-1 remake. But then we go to Call Me By Your Name, or go to Challengers next. Challengers is, again, probably not it's not his best. Absolutely a standout general audience hit, I think. And then Call Me By Your Name. I actually would go and say that I don't think Luca is going to top Call Me By Your Name. I do not think in this lifetime he would do it. Maybe in an alternate timeline he did, but he did not do it with this one. Though at the same time, I have heard people talk about Bones and All, so that's probably a pretty good one. I am also very interested in watching I Am Love and A Bigger Splash, now that I know that they're in some like Desire trilogy kind of thing.
Yeah, me too.
With Call Me By Your Name, so that might actually be on my watch list here in the future. What about you?
So overall, my ranking would be obviously Protagonist at the very bottom. Just could not finish it, couldn't really get into it. And then I'd probably put Suspiria next. But I would say Suspiria is a gigantic leap forward.
Yeah, we have to. I hope I was on note saying that. Like, Suspiria is so much higher than Protagonist. Suspiria is a good movie. Mm-hmm. I think I have it rated 3.5 stars right now, and it feels like a really solid spot for it. My only problem is it's just too
fucking long. Yeah. Same. It's too long.
It's too long and not doing enough. Like, they don't do enough with the time.
But it is a visual, like it looks great,
visually stunning.
Yeah, and there's some pretty cool scenes in it.
The ending is still awesome too. Like it's so chaotic.
And just to clarify, it was not a 1-to-1 remake. He described as like a reimagining. So just to make sure. Okay. So yeah, Suspiria, again, gigantic leap forward. And then I would probably put Bones and All. I did really like that when I saw it. I'd have to rewatch it, but I really remember really liking it. It had some pretty neat visuals. But I think it's probably his, besides maybe Protagonist, his weakest looking movie. And then next would be Challengers, and then a gigantic leap forward, Call Me by Your Name.
I think I'm right there with you. But now, how do we rank Luca on our tier list? So right now, we'll do a quick recap. Don't know if we have a visual up for it or not, but we have currently, for me, I have S is Sean Baker, A Denis Villeneuve. I have D for David Lynch. We're only allowed to put 2 people in each spot. They go from S, A, B, C, D, F. Yeah, right. S, A, B, C, D, F. Yep. Mm-hmm. So there's only 2 that we will be having in each spot. Where's your ranking at right now?
So I believe S tier
Yours have is topsy-turvy to mine,
Denis, and then A is Sean, because I think I made the argument that I want Sean to do something different. So maybe
that is actually a really good argument.
It's hard because this is hard for me because Luca has Call Me by Your Name, and it's a top 4 movie for me. It's in my top 4.
Where'd you put David Lynch?
I think he was like a D or an F. He's like interchangeable at the moment. Right. He's at the bottom right now. I'm just putting them down there now. Maybe we find some real horrific directors, which I do want to add. I think we need to get away from maybe some of the real good ones and find some divisive ones.
I'm down. I know what we're doing next. You already told us what we're going to be doing next month, but we can find one to follow that up for sure.
So I'm going to put Luca right now at an A. Above Sean Baker, no. I don't know. We'll have to. I'll probably further discuss this way in the future, but I'll put Luca at an A right now, next to Sean, and then Denis at an S.
I'm gonna put Luca at a B,
okay.
High B. I'll put him there. I think he could go up to an A, but I think we might be watching something that might make me put it like the thing is, like, Call Me by Your Name and Challengers were fucking fantastic. Suspiria was great as well. I just think I'm that upset with the Protagonists.
Well, let's compare directorial debuts, right? Like,
because if we're to do it like compared to all of that, like if you just compare their debut hits, I think Denny and Sean crushed it. I mean, again, like August 32nd Somewhere or August 32nd on Earth is not
completely
stunning.
watchable.
It was very competent. If anything, it's the opposite of what it's what I'm talking about with the Protagonists. Like we have just a very straightforward like romance.
Didn't try to do
it
too
doesn't
much.
work at some parts. It still looks beautiful to watch. Didn't try to do too much. I just respect efficiency and just like knowing and practicality. And the Protagonist was just trying to do shit that just had no right to be doing. I feel like it had a right, it can do it right, but the thing is he learned from it too. So if you're judging on just like has he gotten better, it's like yeah, he definitely has. So like shout out to Luca, but I would keep him at a B. Like I said, he could maybe go up to an A when we get to the end of the year and we start ranking all of them. Because we're gonna make a definitive. Yeah. We're going to have our own list. There's going to be a definitive 2025 Some Damn Movies like director
tier
like
list.
Ranking tier list. And we're going to have to argue with them. It's not just going to be like a clean average of just our 2 lists. Like we're going to talk about them and hopefully we get you all talking about them too. Keep your list as well. Like, where would you rank them? By all means, go back and watch them. If you're just watching now, like, go back and watch the other couple episodes. There should be, you can pick up on what movies we've watched for each director. If not, maybe we'll put one down in the description so you know what we watched, just to make it easier for you. But yeah, like, we can talk about it. We'll argue about it at the end of the year. But that's why I'm going to keep him at a B right now, because I might change up on it.
Yeah, I think that's a good spot for him right now. I think his high is obviously very high, but I would say his style, I don't know, maybe similar to Sean. I just want him to switch it up a little bit. I mean, I think versus like, Sean, he does have different genres, I would say, because like Suspiria and Bones and All are a little bit different, obviously, from like Call Me by Your Name and Challengers. But a lot of the themes are the same. A lot of the ideas are the same. But he does as well. I think he's also somebody that he has his style, and I think he's very good at it. Is he on the level of what I would say Denis, where I think he's a notch above the rest of his contemporaries? No. There's probably plenty of other that I haven't investigated or explored that are also doing like this erotic type style just as well as Luca. But Luca, again, Call Me by Your Name has been my favorite for many years now, one of my favorites. So I'm just sort of stuck on Luca right now. But if you have anybody else that is maybe similar in this style, I would love to see it, and comment down below. And as always, please put directors that I would say a little bit against the grain. Like, obviously, we're going to do Martin Scorsese one day. I don't want to do him yet. Or like some of those other big directors. Give us some not super well-known ones that have a couple movies in their filmography. I'm not talking about just one. We need at least, like, let's say 3.
I'm a little upset right now.
Why?
I went to ChatGPT. So we'll segue into like the next director. Who's the next director that we're talking about?
So I wanted to switch it up a little bit and just get like a female name in here, but I didn't want to do like a Greta, because we both have seen a lot of Greta movies, or like a Sophie or whatever. So I thought, I just looked up some big names, and these are a lot of like older movies. So Penny Marshall, who's most probably well known for Awakenings and A League of Their Own.
Well, isn't it also Big? I thought we were doing
and Big, yeah. So Big was I think that one made over 100 million. Wow. Yeah,
Big was big. So that'll be next week if you guys are wanting, or not next week, but the next director's episode. We usually do we do 2 episodes a month. If you're new here, one episode is usually something more contemporary, something like that's more recent, that's either been released in theaters or on streaming, just something we can talk about. And then we usually mix in like what we've been watching as well, just kind of like discussing it. And then we have an episode where we talk about, this deep dive. These are our longer episodes, typically probably an hour and a half to 2 hours. And we just talk about a director and we deep dive into them. So if you're wanting to if you want to be a part of this, if you want to experience or be along with this ride, you said it was Penny Marshall's our next one?
Yeah, so filmography is starting with Jumping Jack Flash, and then did Big, Awakenings, A League of Their Own, a Renaissance Man, The Preacher's Wife, and the last film is Riding in Cars with the Boys.
So what 3 are we going to be doing? We usually keep this to 3 just because it's a lot of movies. So you're more than welcome to watch
all of them,
however many you want. You watch all of them, but we're only going to like deep dive into 3 of them.
So I always want to hit the directorial debut. So I think Jumpin' Jack Flash would be a good one. I feel like I want to throw Big in there just because I know I love that movie. But I feel like Awakenings has to be another one to throw in there. I think the cast is too good not to do, and I think the film within her filmography is too big to not do. But then at the same time, I would want to do A League of Their Own because that's another big name.
I think more people have watched A League of Their Own
over
A League of Their Own over Awakening. To me, the ones that are calling out to me, I agree with the debut. I like doing a debut, not just because it's their debut. Well, it is because it's their debut, right? I like going in here, seeing where they started from, right?
Yeah.
I think it's a good litmus to like judge everything else. Like again, in the Luca example, protagonist, dog water, don't really care about it. But did he change? How did he evolve through his filmography? It makes it pretty clear. It gives you this litmus. So Jumping Jack Flash, I think, is 100% on this list. I'm already adding it to the watch list. So now we have two more. I think that Awakenings also should be in there. Because primarily I want to watch it because I haven't watched it.
It also is a Robert De Niro and Robin Williams movie, and I think those two together just sound interesting to me. So,
oh yeah, I didn't even know that.
I mean, look at the rest of the cast. You have like John Hurt in there, Peter Stormare.
Holy shit!
Yeah, this one I think is supposed to be a big one.
I think that. So I think Awakenings is in there.
Okay.
I think now the question is, do we go with big or do we go with A League of Their Own? In my opinion, like we could do Riding in Cars with Boys, but I mean,
because I like the idea of doing the directorial debut and then like a very like their highest rated one or something close, and then what their last one was. I think seeing the contrast is very interesting to me.
So then I'll say another one that we're going to do is Riding in Cars with Boys.
Let's do it, yeah.
But now we have, again, which one do we pick in between? Because there are three that I would be... Which also we can, if we want, my time can sometimes be taxed up. So that's why like I make three. We can watch, you can always watch, the other ones.
I feel like big, since everyone probably has seen it as far as this filmography goes, I think we can skip it, even though I'm probably going to watch it just because I want to. I think we can skip it because it's the most well-known other than A League of Their Own. Even that one I think we can skip too. But I'm going to add it in there anyways. So maybe let's just agree on these three that we've already agreed on. And then maybe throughout the month, if we feel like we have time to filter in one of them.
So we're saying Jumpin' Jack Flash, A League of Their Own, Riding in Cars with Boys.
I was still thinking Awakenings.
Oh, okay. Awakenings. All right.
Yeah.
So Jumpin' Jack Flash, Awakenings, Riding in Cars with Boys. That's the official three that we're going to deep dive and discuss.
And then let's agree, if either of us have time, let's do A League of Their Own.
Yeah, I mean, like I've seen A League of Their Own multiple times, so like I can get around to it. But I'm going to prioritize these three. Yeah, because that'll be the main focal points of what we'll talk about. And I will put in a concerted effort to get A League of Their Own in there as well. Though I have yet to watch Big. I've never watched Big.
That's crazy. Yeah.
I would almost be like, I'm almost tempted to, because I've always seen the piano part, but
yeah,
I don't know.
That one's good.
I think I would rather watch the other three more. So,
I'm excited for Jumpin' Jack Flash personally.
Yeah. Whoopi Goldberg in 86.
Yeah.
Like, this is...
I think I don't know about you, but I love Whoopi in that era. I thought she was great. I think she's a great actress, at least back then. I don't know how she would be now, but I think she had some like Sister Act. I loved
for sure.
Those Sister Act movies I thought were awesome.
Yeah.
I've never seen The Color Purple, but it's obviously very popular and a very big movie. She's in Ghosts. I thought she's pretty good in that. Let's do a Whoopi episode.
That might be the next year. I was thinking about like, do we keep going with directors, or do we just start doing like actors filmographies? I've actually thought it. So one of my big conversations in my own head that I think about is like, what do actors do now that you never fucking see them in shit anymore? They don't act. Like, I know the one guy I remember years ago, he was in The Cosby Show, and creepily, like rudely enough, people were like filming him like working at like a Whole Foods or something, like at Trader Joe's. No, I remember that. It was Trader Joe's.
I feel like what a life that is to be like such a big name. Maybe not him. He wasn't that big, but somebody like
he's a support character.
But like somebody that's bigger that like had some real big roles. Like, what are you like in construction now? I mean, good for you, but what a life change. That sucks.
Well, I mean, it's just like life finds a way. Some people don't want to be in the spotlight like that. So I mean, I respect it. You know, they just kind of get out and do it. But I mean, I was just thinking in the context of like, do we just keep going down directors, or do we start trying to do like actors as well? Like go in and see like their filmography.
I think we could. I think we could do actors. Yeah, I think that'd be fun.
Yeah. Like, we'll take it by ear.
I don't know.
We'll play it by ear at least.
We can do themes, anyway. Like theme months, like child actors or something like that. Like, where are they now? Like, have you seen Haley Joel Osment now? Like, I think he acted better as a kid.
Macaulay Culkin are doing their. Him and Macaulay Culkin just took the same route, different paths, where they're just like doing the side quests. They, I think, have a couple podcasts and they're just living life like off the coattails of like a very popular, very successful childhood career.
Well, Macaulay was also like a great kid actor, and then like what happens when you're a good kid actor and you just start shit in the bed, like you just not a good actor anymore.
Yeah,
because like he was in The Boys, wasn't he? Haley Joel Osment at one point, he was in The Boys for like a couple episodes.
He was, like for a couple episodes. It wasn't anything too crazy, but. Anyway, well, I think we can close this one out with just like what are you watching? What should we watch for the next episode? Because we haven't I have an idea of what we could potentially watch if you are down. I think it popped up that's streaming. I think and that's Novocaine.
Okay.
Because it was in the theater. We can try to go to the theaters. It's also just like if there's anything new coming out on streaming.
Let's go to the old Regal.
This
website.
Is like the SEO episode is what we're talking about here.
Yeah. Do we do the Minecraft movie since we're gamers?
I want to.
I'll see it if you want to see it. We can do a Minecraft movie episode.
I'm down. I was already down last week.
I mean, I really didn't want to, but I know I'm gonna hate it, so I'm willing to watch it.
I will go and watch it for sure then.
Yeah. Well, I'll go see that. I might go see that. I might go see Snow White too with the nieces. So we might go see that.
Well, we'll talk about the Minecraft movie and we'll see. We're a little late to that one, but I also didn't think you would be down to go see it. That's why I was like, yeah, we can do Novocaine.
I'm truly really not wanting to go, but I am kind of desperate to just go sit in the movie theater because it's been a couple weeks.
All right. Well, we can also we can discuss offline. We don't have to like give them everything, but tentatively maybe the Minecraft movie.
Yeah.
And we'll just see what's playing in the theaters. But anyway, if you all are still here, we appreciate you. We really do. Again, hit that like button, that comment down below, subscribe, all the good things. We should have all of our socials now. I think I need to update the socials, but look down below for our socials. If you want to keep connected, I would actually say the best way to keep connected is on YouTube. Because I think we both have a YouTube studio and just like YouTube in general, like on our phones. We've pretty much taken everything else off. I'm not very consistent. I try to keep people up to date with the other social medias, not necessarily engage, but I'm also trying to be better about that. But I refuse to put all of those apps on my phone at this point. So yeah, just comment on these below. We're going to try to start using the community tab a little bit more effectively as well.
You can comment on my like Letterboxd reviews if you want to actually contact me.
Comment on Letterboxd reviews. Yeah, we do have Letterboxd on our phones. So,
but yeah, guys, we need comments down below. Please tell us directors to watch. Again, tell us directors to watch. Leave your rankings down below. We again appreciate any comments. That's what we need. We need retention. And we need comments. We need some activities on these videos, okay? Nothing's really going to happen, but because we're just going to keep on making them because we have fun. But it's for free.
You could also
we want a community here, guys. Come on.
Exactly.
Let's gaslight these motherfuckers.
Anyways, have a great rest of your week. We appreciate you. Bye.
Watch movies. Bye.